Notre Dame leads it 14-4 in those 4 games I talked about, the consecutive win streak, 82 through 1985, but they have never met as undefeated teams. And Kevin, in fact, this is the first time that a #1 ranked team has come into Falcon Stadium to take on the Air Force Academy.
Well, as I earlier said, Ron, it's an opportunity of a lifetime for the Air Force team. They are 6-0. They carry the banner of the WAC Conference and the Military Academy. So what you're going to see here tonight possibly could be history. But Air Force has a problem. They do not match up physically. They're going to need a tremendous effort from an undersized defense and then a great effort from that man, number 6, D. Dowis. But he's capable. 133 yards a game on the ground for the little guy, 153-pounder.
You saw the 2 teams lined up out on the field just prior to the ball game, and that was an anti-drug message. These 2 schools, the first of many across the nation that will go through the same procedure, with Fisher to Berry having a recorded message read here before this capacity house in Colorado Springs. And every cadet from the academy is here.
That's mandatory, by the way.
I'll tell you, it would not have had to be.
Not tonight. Not tonight. It is mandatory for every game. In fact, I think it's mandatory for every inhabitant of Colorado Springs and 100 miles around. This is a big one out in East Park.
97 is Grant Dean. He is not normally the kickoff man. Normally Joe Wood, who handles all placements, field goal, and also points after, is the kickoff guy. But he pulled an abdominal muscle last week, so the youngster is getting a chance. There he is, Ismail, the Rocket, one of the 2 deep men, the leading kick return man in the nation. Dean moves forward, and this one is underway. Just what DeBerry wanted, and that is a kick out of the end zone. And now for tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Road Handler. Tony Rice, the quarterback out of Woodruff, South Carolina. The 2 running backs, Anthony Johnson and Ricky Waters. His wideouts, Ismail, along with Pat Eilers. The tight end is a huge one, Derek Brown at 6'7". Inside, Mike Helt is the center. The 2 guards, Tim Ryan and Tim Grunhard. And the tackles, Mike Brennan and Dean Brown. We'll check the Air Force defense in just a moment. Rice rolls the pocket on first down, and he will keep it out to the 26-yard line, where defensively Pat McNellis. And now let's take a look at the defense of the Air Force Academy. Tom Kafka is the nose guard. The 2 defensive tackles, Pat McNellis, who just recorded the first stop, and Lane Bean. The outside backers, Tokish and Randall Gladney. The inside linebackers, Terry Walker and Brian Hill. In the secondary, it's Litsky and Faison. And the safeties, Juries and Mario Mathers. This is Waters, right up the middle, takes it to in the vicinity of the 30-yard line.
Ron talked about Derek Brown, number 86, 6'7", 235 pounds on Gladney. Maybe the best linebacker for Air Force. Pinning him inside, but right into Waters. Now, Notre Dame has had a problem running inside. Waters was a wide receiver last year. They need better production out of that tailback spot.
So the initial first down of the night recorded by Notre Dame as they have it just across the 30. You see Rice with an audible. Pitch to Waters, right side again, and he'll have a gain of 5 in the play. Number 42, Terry Walker, who leads the Air Force in tackles, comes up to make the hit.
Air Force front 7 averages about 222 pounds across. The front 6 for Notre Dame outweighs them by almost 100 pounds. They disguise their defenses. They will slant. That's what they did on that play, but they slanted strong. Notre Dame, audible, as Ron said, ran weak. They'll try to get a mismatch all night.
Rodney Culver in the ballgame at tailback for the Irish, number 5, sophomore out of Detroit. Second down, and it is the fullback right up the middle, and there is nothing for Anthony Johnson as he will be stopped. It's Kafka, the nose guard, who comes up first, and then J.T. Tokish.
Kafka was an all-state quarterback. out of Omaha, Nebraska, is now a 250-pound nose guard and the biggest player by 10 pounds on the front. They're very, very small across that defensive front.
First third down situation of the night. Notre Dame needs the 40. Pitch comes to Waters, gets it outside, and he will not have the first down. Grab with a head-high tackle, and it's Lane Bean. A marker across the way in the secondary. Penalty against Notre Dame. And from the spotting of the ball, Kev, they're going to be shy by 1.5 yards.
You saw what I was talking about with Waters. Dead ball, delay a game, repeat third down.
So in a way, Notre Dame gets a reprieve. Otherwise, they'd be punting the ball. Air Force really had no choice.
Before the snap, as I was saying about Waters, he's a 199-pound tailback. You saw him go over backwards, going for a first down. That will not happen to a heavy-duty runner.
From the 32. First pass of the evening for Rice. Out of the backfield, wide open to tight end Brown. Across midfield, and it's knocked out of bounds at the 44-yard line. 23 yards, and certainly the best delay of game penalty that Notre Dame has had in 1989.
Well, the offensive line to be commended. They gave him enough time, but Derek Brown will get held up at the line of scrimmage. And look at Rice. With all that time, he's released across the middle, plenty of time, wide open. And then down the field for the first down. Give it to the offensive line. Nice job. A lot of time for Tony Rice.
Fellas in the game at wide receiver. Option to the left. Rice will keep or go for 3, maybe 4. Tom Kafka, number 75, the senior out of Omaha, again on the bottom of the stack. And number 42, Terry Walker. You could see him getting up.
The thing that Air Force has to do here, Ron, is they have to sell out to stop the run. Under no circumstances can Notre Dame establish a running game and the Air Force Academy stay in this ballgame. So to that end, they'll bring 8-9 people up front, Notre Dame into passing situations where they can attempt the defense.
Last year, 2 big plays, very important in the Irish win. Waters, right up the middle. Rocket, I beg your pardon. They lined him up the tailback, breaks off a couple of tackles, and he'll have the first down at the 32. 11 yards in the play, and this is just what we asked Air Force yesterday. Did they ever see Ismail lined up at the tailback spot? They said they didn't think so.
Well, yeah. Well, now they think so.
Now they think so.
22 carries, 95 yards so far. He's just 175 pounds. And look at the quickness and the strength from the little guy. And this is what the Rocket can do. Now, this is a Rocket that gets a little off course, but he keeps headed for the target, which is the end zone. A great run from a little guy, normally a wide receiver.
First down from the 32. This time it is Waters. Cuts back, nice vision, and gets back open to the right side at the 15. At the 10, it will be first and goal Irish inside the 10-yard line. Rob Lipsky saved a touchdown for the Air Force Academy.
It's a devastating combination against the Air Force Academy. Look at the offensive line, all that beat. They're putting people on the ground. And then Waters, the wide receiver part of Waters, able to make the cutback. And this is what he does best. He's 199 pounds, quick outside, headed for the goal line, run down by the secondary. Good job, that entire offensive line. Grunhard and Brown just caved it in.
That was not influence blocking. That's where the play was designed. It was just great vision on his part. Inside handoff, Anthony Johnson inside the 2, and he's at the 1. Terry Walker is the man who put the stop on it.
Anthony Johnson to the 1-yard line.
Anthony Johnson, who has already scored 7 touchdowns this year, 291 yards and 74 carries. And the Air Force Academy with their backs to the wall as Rodney Culver comes in at tailback. Wishbone set for the Irish. Touchdown, it is Anthony Johnson.
defensive line has no chance when Notre Dame gets this close. Across the middle, 259, 260-pound fullback. Look how Notre Dame puts them all down on the ground. Johnson right over top. They're never going to stop him for just a yard.
Mike Pelt, number 55, is the man leading the blocking. Heinrich with the extra point attempt, and he's good. That makes him 16 of 17 on the year. And with 9 minutes, 41 seconds left in this opening period, Notre Dame on top, 7-0.
The fiber that's pound for pound, 5 times stronger than steel, is used in this bullet-resistant vest. Makes up the unique belt of Road Handler Treadlock radials. Great low prices, Road Handler tough. That's your money's worth and a whole lot more.
Talk to me, CJ. What are you really feeling?
It's very sweet.
This is what sets every Mazda apart. It's called Conseil Engineering. Engineering based on human feelings.
Keep an eye on his pulse, please.
With it, Mazda can actually learn how to create cars that feel just right. Because to us, feeling right is what driving is really all about. Mazda.
It just feels right.
Tell me, is he still upset?
Well, you know, Dad.
Never really understood why I joined. I mean, maybe you'll go straight to college. But I had to prove something to myself first.
The GI Bill and Army College Fund. If you qualify, you can get more than $25,000 for college and an edge on life.
Do you think Dad'll ever come around? Dad?
Some people think it's crazy to drive a car over 200 miles an hour. But I'll tell you what crazy is. Crazy is driving any car when you've had too much to drink. So please, don't drink and drive.
A message from Anheuser-Busch.
ESPN's College Football Saturday, Notre Dame versus Air Force, is brought to you by Mazda Tires and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right. And by Fuji, makers of quality film and cameras. Fuji, a new way of seeing things. Ron Franklin and Kevin Kyler in Colorado Springs, Colorado. 7-0. The Irish on top, and they were aided by a delay of game penalty. Gray to his side. He's the number 2 return man in the nation, and he'll take it and go down on one knee. Take a look at the starting lineups for the Air Force Academy. At quarterback, D. Dowers, Royston, Georgia. His running backs, Greg Johnson and Chris Howard, are the halfbacks. The fullback directly behind him is Rodney Lewis in the wishbone. The receiver, Steve Sin, is the wideout. The tight end is Trent Van Hulsen. Up front, Paul Walski is the center. The 2 guards, Kevin Bell and Steve Wilson, and the tackles, Scott Hollister and Terry Carr. So from the 20-yard line, first snap from scrimmage for the Air Force Academy. The middle, it's Rodney Lewis, the fullback, will go for 1. And now let's check the Irish defense. Chris Zorich, the all-everything nose tackle. You'll hear his name a lot tonight. Bob Dahl and Jeff Alm are the defensive tackles. The defensive ends, Scott Kowakowski and Andre Jones. The inside linebackers, and they're great ones, Bo Carr and Don Grimm. In the secondary, it's Todd Light and Stan Smagala. The corners are the safeties, Francisco and Pat Terry. To the right. Dallas will keep it. Pitches the ball out. It's fumbled and recovered right on the end line by Greg Johnson.
This is an unbalanced line to the wide side of the field. They're going to go weak. They're going away from the unbalanced line to your left as you watch the screen. And here's what D. Dowis can do. It didn't work, but look at him. The little guy threading through, and then a great play there. A pitch, not handled. Not a bad pitch, though. You'll see a lot of that tonight. No harm done to the Air Force. Here's a reverse angle. Dowis again. You're looking from the sideline. He knows he's going down. Presence of mind to get it out there. The ball not handled.
The 26. Dowis keeps it again. Will struggle forward for 1. That's Don Grimm from his left inside linebacking spot who made the tackle. And for the Air Force Academy, it is punting time. So the pitch to Johnson, which he could not handle. would have gone for big yardage and certainly a first down. Not able to convert. Eric Olson. Ismail, the big man, the Rocket. Kick is going to be taken, and at the 30-yard line by one of the short men, at Steve Bellis, and he fell down as he ran into Ismail. So it's a 40-yard kick, and the Irish will take it from the 30. 7-0, Notre Dame leads.
In a world of distractions and unexpected turns, a car should be like a friend you don't have to talk to. The Mazda 626 is actually engineered to feel just that way, resulting in an uncanny ability to make you feel in control. At the same time, it makes you feel relaxed. The 626 from Mazda.
Fuji videotape. Its only limitation is... Fuji videotape is... Fuji videotape. Its only limitation is... Fuji videotape! Its only limitation is your own imagination!
What do you have? Give me 2 pizza puffs, chili dog. Excuse me. Gus. 1 minute. Sorry. Give me 2 pizza puffs, a chili dog, a large... Hey, Lord! Gus, I told you, to be hot dog kings, we need lots of Bud Light. Not Bull Black?
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
Now what do you think? It's beautiful.
Because everything else is just a light.
Hey, what about my pizza puffs?
7-0, the Irish on top. And another look at that punt a moment ago that Bellis made.
Well, Bellis will hear about this. You never go backwards on a punt, especially when you have the leading kick returner in the nation. And look there, you see Rodney Lewis give him a little shot in the head. That could have been a penalty.
As the pitchback comes to Culver, turns the corner, has 5, and then close to 10 as he'll be tripped up around the 38-yard line.
Rodney Culver, the ball carrier.
Rodney Culver is a 219-pound sophomore. Now, Tony Brooks no longer on the team. He's left Notre Dame to academic problems. Culver is the backup to Ricky Waters. They would like him to play more. He's a tough inside runner. He's had a little problem holding onto the ball, but he's coming on. And when he does, it's going to be trouble for the opposition.
Mahauko comes in at fullback, a junior from New Hampshire. Again, it's Culver, left side, bolts through that big opening, has the first down, then being shot back by Brian Hill. But right now, the charge by the Notre Dame offensive line has been impressive. Other scores around the nation. Miami wins convincingly. First time at San Jose. It come west of the Mississippi. Michigan wins a huge one over the Spartans. Look at this one. A&M slows down an offense that had been averaging, it seemed like, thousands.
Andre Ware, 3 interceptions for Andre Ware, and that's going to hurt his Heisman chances.
To the open side of the field. Rice breaks off one tackle, but then Pat McNellis at 42, Terry Walker came up to put a stopper on that. Also, Tokish in on the play. Tokish is the one who started the hammer move out here, where after you hit somebody pretty good, you put the fist together, and the student body reacts in mass. Kevin and I had a chance to go to lunch yesterday and watch 4,400 people in 20 minutes. I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah, and one hamburger, too.
Rolling to the open side, pass is complete. Eilers on a comeback at the 50-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down. It'll bring up the 3rd down and 3. Boy, what a magnificent facility, and the people here have been absolutely wonderful at the Air Force Academy. If you've never been to this facility, if you're ever in this part of Colorado, just over an hour south of Denver, you got to stop by and see it. It is absolutely magnificent. See the attendance? That is a new Falcon Stadium record, over 53,000. And now Rice Rice wants a timeout. You could see him signaling to the outside. And as he comes out to talk to his wide receiver, in fact, that's Ismail that he's talking to. So let's take a break. Irish leading just over 5 to play.
Win big in the Gas City $300,000 Pro Football Challenge.
Hope you know the words. So what that's all about is Bino said that if the Air Force Academy defeated Notre Dame, and he would come here and sing. And there it is. They've got the words for it. He said it would be at ESPN's expense. However, the athletic director said the Air Force would pay for it. Rice with still another audible. And the noise is great. They're right there in front of the student section. Straight up the middle, and this is Ismail again. Has the first down inside the 45 to around the 44-yard line.
One of the strengths of the defense of the Air Force Academy is they're very, very quick. So Notre Dame's going with their quickest tailback. Here comes the line down. Now look at how this guy changes direction. He's finding a seam. See how quick? Maybe another tailback might be a step slow, and that quickness of the defense could close it down. But Ismail's giving him a real problem here.
First out Irish from the 44. Again to the open side. Rice will hold on. He'll go for a couple.
Boy, you can see how quick they are defensively. They're all getting out there on the option. The thing that's really hurting them is the straight ahead stuff.
Second down and 8.
Juries finally came up to make the tackle. Kept something else you might discuss. Some defenses will automatically line up a full yard off the football. Air Force is one of those teams. They're giving up pounds. They're also giving up distance, so to speak, and you can watch them when they line up again.
The reason they do that, Ron, is so they can react. If they get too close, they get blown out too quickly. Look at the spacing. You'll see the spacing on the snap.
From the 42, breaks off one tackle, and Rice will be close to the first down as he takes it down to the 34-yard line.
Here's the distance now, and watch how quickly they'll react to Rice. Now, the thing that can happen is that you miss tackles. Now, they have Tony Rice, they just don't get him. That was Brian Hill, the inside linebacker. They have to play a near-perfect game. Now, Air Force at a tremendous disadvantage. This man may be the best quarterback, option quarterback, total quarterback in the country.
Change come in for the measurement as he is very close around the 34. In fact, he will have it by the length of the football. Notre Dame arrived in town last evening, and we sat down and visited with Coach Holtz. One of the things that really has been bothering him and also his staff, they are in the middle of midterms. And he said some of our kids look like zombies when they come to practice. He said they're not getting a lot of sleep. Well, that's just something that you know you got to go through.
They miss practice. Tony Rice misses 2 days a week. He gets there late on Tuesday and Thursday.
Breaks off one tackle, then will be hammered down hard at the 30-yard line. Pat McNellis, who was a senior out of Point Republic, Virginia, there to make the stop.
When you think about the Air Force wishbone, averaging over 526 yards a game, Notre Dame doing exactly what they need to do. They're keeping the wishbone off the field.
7-0 Irish lead. Just under 4 to play. Opening quarter. You're at the Air Force Academy. Pitch back comes to Ismail. Breaks it open. Gets by another tackler. And Kevin, he's all the way down to the 21. And how many people have we seen him leave in his wake tonight?
74 and 71. Jurkovic and Brown. And Jacob, the tight end. But the real key here is they're occupying the defense. And look how quick he cuts. Ismail, the wide receiver, the kick returner we've seen. Look at the power runner. 175-pound. Well, the brother is the bomb, right? He's the missile and the bomb and the rocket all rolled into one.
Hit in the backfield, and Culver will be stopped for no gain. In fact, he may have lost one. Terry Walker, the first man to make penetration, the left inside linebacker.
Well, Air Force did this on the last play. They blitzed. Ismail read it, jumped outside, and was able to pick up yardage. Here, Walker was able to get inside and knock off Culver immediately. And Air Force has to do this. They have to sell out defensively.
Well, Fisher DeBerry also said we can't be stationary targets. We've got to constantly be moving on defense with stunts. Ismail again lines up at tailback. Rice, that's a lateral, has it to him, and this time he will be corralled. Way back at the 29-yard line, and it's J.T. Tokish. Let's see if we get a hammer from him. Loss of 7 on the play.
All right, key to this play is pressure everywhere. They're going to come up the middle. Here comes that blitz again. Walker, he makes him make the decision immediately. Here's Ismail. Speed won't help you here, Rocket. This Rocket's going to stay on the launching pad. Good defense by the Air Force Academy.
Good open field tackle. Tokish lined him up, kept the hips low, and watched his belt buckle. That hasn't worked all the time when you're trying to tackle Henry. Third down. Notre Dame needs the 10.5-yard line. The senior out of Woodruff, South Carolina, says, I can't hear. That's Jack Baker, the referee in tonight's ball game, who he is talking with.
Remember the noise rule now. We haven't seen it too much this year, but there is the noise rule. You can lose your timeouts. Here it is. Referee's timeout, step 1. Referee's timeout, PA announcement. We have not yet gotten to that point. And then you're into loss of timeout. This is the home team, or a 5-yard penalty if timeouts are exhausted. 5-yard penalty for each additional infraction. That's a new rule this year. And they get to screaming here at the Air Force Academy. They certainly did at lunch yesterday.
Rice going all the way down the line to tell his offensive lineman. Sets over the middle, and he has Ismail. That is enough for the first down inside the 10.
Ismail with the catch. Shannon Yates with the stop.
There's the Rocket. Not going deep, but going across. This is a zone all the way. He's going to find a dead spot here, and what a pass by Rice. Between the numbers. Reaction not as quick maybe as it should have been by Shannon Yates. Tony Rice, knowing where the first down marker is, Ismail and Rice hit him right in the numbers.
3 for 3 for 49 yards, folks. Inside the fullback, Anthony Johnson. He'll take it around the 5-yard line. Pat McNellis, one of the first men there to make the hit, number 61. Then up from the secondary, number 21, Mike Juries, a senior out of Boise, Idaho.
We talked about the power of Notre Dame and the mismatch in size. The 2 big plays in this game have been a pass play to the tight end for a first down, and that pass play to Ismail right there for another first down, both on 3rd and very long.
You can see the numbers on goal to go. Notre Dame very proficient. Rice pitches back, wires, touchdown, Notre Dame. So for the moment, Notre Dame has silenced this record crowd of over 53,000 here at Colorado Springs as Heydrich will come in to attempt the extra point. Fisher DeBerry thinking, what can we do to get it to work against these guys? Kick is perfect. 14-0. The Irish on top.
Again, Tony Rice will make the right decision, but I want you to watch Waters here. Now, this play could get him yanked from the lineup. Nobody out here. Watch what Waters does when he gets to the goal line. Running backs don't do this. What is that? What is that?
Well, I guess he figured he had 1 foot across the line.
No. Let's watch this again. Here's the blocking. Now, a running back squares up, shoulders and head are the only thing you give the defense. Look at Waters. I don't know what that is. And I'll tell you, when they see that on the film at Notre Dame, they're not going to be happy. This is a guy that was a wide receiver last year. They have had difficulty at the running back position. A little toughness inside. They're not getting the toughness that they need. Maybe a little bit more wide receiver than running back in there.
It's the 5th touchdown for him on the season, a junior out of Harrisburg, Virginia. 14-0. The Irish leading this one, less than a minute to play in this first period. Immediately following our game, Bob Bino and Lee. For college football, what has happened in today's action, we have had some shockers. Clemson got shocked again at home. And, of course, at 10:30 tonight Eastern Time, Stanford will take on Washington State. Heinrich to kick it off for Notre Dame. Again, it is to Gray's side, and he is going to return it 6 yards deep. Number 2 return man in the nation. Loses his footing. He won't get back to the 20. Pat Terrell downfield of the special teams.
I like it. Take it out of there, Ron. You better believe it. It's a play.
Offsides against Air Force on the kick.
They'll decline that.
You would imagine that inside the 20-yard line that's exactly what Lou Holtz and his staff will send out on the field.
Outside on the kick, on the receiving team. Penalty is refused. Break sack.
It's not an easy thing to do, considering that you go backwards when the ball is kicked to pick up the ball carrier. You must have been lined up offside, which is not an easy thing to do either.
Well, the scoring drive, almost 7.5 minutes. 14 plays, 69 yards. Waters in the 5-yard run. Dallas, possibly with an audible, gives it off to Rodney Lewis, the fullback. And the junior from Oklahoma City with some rude treatment after a gain of only 1. It's Bob Dahl who stepped into the hole along with Devon McDonald. We didn't know if we'd see much of McDonald today. A knee injury, and even from this past summer, he has not responded the way they would have liked.
A brother of the fine linebacker defensive end from Pitt, Ricardo McDonald. They're playing a little game there. That was another, they're coming out unbalanced again. Strong right, unbalanced right.
They go to the open side, and the pitch. Greg Johnson will have a gain of 1 to the 21. Notre Dame defensively, well, we'll talk more about it in just a moment as the clock has run out, and that is the end of the first period. Our score, the Fighting Irish 14, Air Force nothing. Our score, Notre Dame leads at the end of the first 15 minutes of play. And Kevin, in looking at the statistics, Air Force picked up 5 yards on their first play. They have gained 1 on each rushing play since. 9 yards rushing first quarter. Dallas wants to throw. Far sideline overthrown, incomplete. Steve Sin, the senior out of Albuquerque, is who he was looking for. Olson, the punter for the Air Force Academy, 40 yards on his first effort. Ishmael is back deep for Notre Dame. End over end kick. Ishmael will field this one at the 44. Has running room at the 25, at the 10. Touchdown, 56 yards. The Rocket. Well, he turned it around last week at Palo Alto against Stanford in an effort that was not going the way Lou Holtz would have liked. And you know what he did 92 and 88 against the Michigan Wolverines, and has just returned to punt. 56 against the Air Force Academy. Hendrick tries to make it 21-0, and he does.
This guy is a legitimate 4.28 40. How fast is that? Well, how fast is a rocket? Now, there's an opening here, pretty good opening, good blocking, but after that, it's going to be sheer speed. Right here, you can't practice against this. I mean, there's a guy, look at the angle. That's a normal angle against a normal runner. The Rocket is not a normal runner. Here comes 25. Now, what you do when you're playing against a guy like this, you try to take a correct angle. You think you have a reaction that's quick enough. But he is just the quickest thing you'll ever see in your life. Here he goes again, and strong. You've seen him run the ball. And now, this is the key here. Thought he had the angle, but the Rocket outran the angle. He's in. This is what he's done on kickoff returns in 1988, 87, and 83 against Rice, Michigan, 89, 92. That was earlier this year. Stanford 66, and we're running out of paper here. We got to throw, what was that, a 56-yarder?
56-yarder. Saying hi to his friends and family back in Pennsylvania. And as Kevin mentioned, we saw his younger brother who plays for Syracuse and shows a lot of the same attributes. Lou Holtz. Wow. 12 kicks for touchdowns. Well, 6 punts.
If I might make a suggestion, we've been talking Heisman here. Rice, D. Dowis, and Andre Ware. We may start talking Heisman for the Rocket. He's about to do things that people have never done before. He's won, I believe he's one kick now behind the record.
You keep saying, will people continue to kick to him? And every week they do. This kick is going to sail out of the end zone. Again, it was to Gray's side. No chance to return that one, so the Air Force Academy will scrimmage at their own 20-yard line. And this crowd is stunned. We said they were silenced a moment ago, but the Rocket right now has done that. Take a look at some other scores around the country. USC and Cal. Second period on that one. BYU wins big over Colorado State. Ole Miss scoring with the touchdown pass. 39 seconds left of the ballgame to up in Georgia. Dallas reverses out. Has the pass complete. Sin up around the 37-yard line. Todd Light, the quarterback on that side, made the stop. Good for 17 yards.
Had to do it. Had to throw on first down. It was time, 21-0. Not something Air Force likes to do.
Last year in the ball game played up at South Bend, the first 3 times that Air Force had the ball, they drove the ball down the field, but could only come away with 6 points. Option to the open side. Greg Johnson. Marker goes down, turns the corner, knocked out of bounds, close to midfield by Don Grimm. But now let's check that flag I mentioned back at the 35.
This may be a clip on Andre Jones, against Andre Jones. Somebody clipped him, I'm trying to say. Number 7 for Notre Dame. Or holding, I meant to say. Holding. Good play by D. Dowis, though. Nice decision. Well, here's Andre Jones now, number 7. And he's the key player. He's the guy out there trying to contain this thing.
It's Van Holzen who was blocking on him.
Holding. That looks like a hold to me.
Repeat first down.
Tough break, but frankly, the play would not have gone had not Van Holzen held Andre Jones.
Trent is a senior. Ridley, Minnesota, 6'2", 220 pounds.
So he's a good one. Say he could play for anyone in the country.
Best hands on the team as far as
obviously.
Dallas will throw. And he'll bring it out to the 38-yard line. He'll pick up about 11 of those yards that they lost a moment ago. 14-0, or 21-0, I should say, our count. And let's check the scoreline so far in the ball game as we have 14-12 left until halftime. Total yards speaks for itself as far as the tone of this one. Rice 3 for 3 throwing.
2 key passes in there, Ron, for first downs that were really big. Dowis being shut down is big, and of course, Ismail, that last touchdown.
Dallas pumps once and then throws it away. That was Z. Droit, the intended receiver. Dan is a junior out of Stevens Point, Wisconsin. This is one of the things that Fisher DeBerry spent quite a bit of time talking with us about yesterday. He said, we don't want to be postured where we have to throw the football and throw it and throw it. 6 or 7 times would be exactly what they would love. That's what most wishbone teams would like. But here, Notre Dame is dictating when they throw rather than Air Force dictating.
I think it's a little unrealistic for them to come into this game thinking they're going to throw 6 or 7 times. Their first down passes for them almost a prerequisite against the bigger, stronger team.
That's complete to Johnson, and he is loose. At the 30, looks for a block. He gets it. He will score. 61 yards. Johnson, 61 yards from D. Dallas, and it's a 21-6 ball game. Joe Wood, the left footer, will attempt the extra point. And he is perfect. As out of the stands, at least a quarter, it looks like a quarter of the class has come down.
All right, number 40 is going to get loose now here. The defense spread out. Dallas hits him perfectly, and he's off to the races. Watch Pat Terrell. Pat Terrell, number 15, has a shot at him, but he's going to get blocked. The last man, that was Steve Senn, the other wide receiver, making a block. A perfect play by Air Force.
So, the Air Force Academy cuts it back to a 14-point game. Let's take a break. Smile did not get the kick. David Jantrick is the man who takes it short.
Greg Johnson sitting right here. Here it is. And here's Dallas over here. He's going to hit him right about here. Now Grimm is going to fall down, get caught out of position, and then it's down the road for a touchdown. Let's take a look at it. Johnson, Dallas right away. See Grimm out of position, and now we have ignition, we have liftoff, and now we have escape velocity here as Senn makes the block, and we've got a 14-point game.
Rice with the quick out pass. Ismail again. Breaks off 2 tackles. Still on his feet up the near sideline. And they knock him out of bounds at the 45. Good heavens. Get a net. Shannon Yates finally knocked him out of bounds. This guy's incredible.
I think he's just surprising people, too. Watch his knee bend. Now, look at the explosion. Watch how he runs. So he runs. See, look at the low center of gravity. Now, that helps him. And the immediate ability to spin. Good block, too. And the strength. And now the speed. He switches hands. This kid's a youngster. He can do it all.
Rodney Culver hit in the backfield, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. 96, Steve Brennan, a junior out of Milton, Washington, who was in at nose guard, read it perfectly.
He was a wrestling champion in high school. Brennan just splits the gap. That's what Air Force will do. They'll take the gap, and they'll take chances. This one pays off. The difference, you know, the thing about Culver versus Ismail is Ismail has that ability to bang, change direction, and when you take gaps, it can be crucial. If an offensive player does it, he'll kill you.
Rice, all the time in the world, and it is caught for the tight end, Derek Brown. Finally is spun down at the 50-yard line. It's got to be a 3rd down and about 3 for Notre Dame as Randall Gladney, senior out of Marina, California, comes over to make the stop. Derek Brown, 6'7", 235 pounds, only a sophomore.
Well, the key stat here is 6'7". Look at Gladney. Cannot get up over him. The 6'7" on the smaller Gladney was the difference. Gladney's only 6 foot tall. Look at this. Now watch how high he gets up. Gladney has no chance. That ball tipped.
Johnson will have the first down. Fighting his way at right guard. Grunhard and Dean Brown with some great blocks on the right side. And again, it is Brennan. Steve Brennan, who makes the stop for the Air Force Academy.
Well, the one thing, Ron, that I might be going in the Air Force's favor, and I'm groping a little bit here, but the altitude. It's 7,200 feet here. And And Notre Dame will have to play a lot of people. Their offense is working hard for some of these touchdowns. These are not big plays. And as this game wears on, if it's still close, it could be a factor.
Ismail is at tailback. He gets the ball. Breaks off, 2 tackles again, and he's off to the races. Inside the 35 for another first down. Shannon Yates for the free safety finally makes the stop. Kevin, he's dead in the water in the backfield. Most backs would have been.
I just don't know what to say about this. Watch 96 Brennan. Got him. Look at this. I mean, you've just got to pull this kid down. You've got to get more than one hand on him, evidently. 175 pounds. Looks like he's 240.
You know, a term you mentioned a minute ago that people, we always talk about speed. This youngster's a heck of a lot stronger than most give him credit
Very
for.
tough. You're right. Very tough kid.
Waters back in at tailback. See the blitz right up the middle, and Anthony Johnson runs right by the blitz man, takes it down to the 27 before Brian Hill, one of the inside backers, makes the stop.
One of the things that Tony Rice maybe doesn't get credit for is to see them get ready to reload here with Raghib. One of the things he doesn't get credit for, he audibled. There was no option there. He saw the blitz coming on the strong side, and he audibled right up the middle to the fullback. A nice call by Tony Rice, something he didn't do, but should be considered maybe when you vote for a Heisman candidate.
To the short side. Rice will hold on, and probably a pretty smart read on his part, as Bean is the man defensively who made the play, but Air Force had done a good job defensing it back toward the sideline.
What Air Force does is they will pick a side, and they will take gaps. Watch number 81. He reads it perfectly, sees the option, steps inside both lead blockers, including Johnson, 22, the fullback. He's able to slow it down, gets help from his teammates. Now, this is where Air Force has failed in the big play.
Third down, Notre Dame needs the 22. Blitz on the way. Wide open over the middle is Anthony Johnson, and he will run till tomorrow. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Fisher DeBerry is very upset. They blitz. It's an all-out blitz, and they're letting their fullback out on a pattern. And Tony Rice, again, is the man that makes this play. He knows he's going to get clobbered. Here comes everybody. Johnson, 22, hot receiver. You see him top left of your screen. He releases, and Rice just stands in there and dumps the ball to him.
Rice, 6 of 6 for 99 yards. Heinrich with the extra point attempt, and again he's perfect. 9 minutes, 46 seconds left until halftime. And our new score is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, 28, and the Air Force Academy, 7.
If ground clearance is important in your next pickup, watch this visual test.
28-7, Notre Dame now leads with 9:46 left until halftime. The student athlete of the game is brought to you by the U.S. Army. Get an edge on life. Be all you can be. And tonight's recipient is from the University of Notre Dame, Pat Eilers, senior split in, and he holds a biology degree. And in the spring, he'll receive a second degree, this one in mechanical engineering. 2.82 is GPA. To kick it off for the Fighting Irish. This one is going to come down to Gray again. Fumbles it out of the back of the end zone, so the Air Force Academy will take it over at the 20. One more look at that touchdown, Kevin.
Again, Air Force selling out here, and here's the fullback, Johnson. What's going to happen here is you're going to get a blitz here, 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 and here. The two outside men are coming. Johnson, let me do it for you here. Johnson's going to come up here, check the blitz, then release it here. Tight end's going to go that way, and it's going to be wide open here. Take a look. Here comes Johnson. Checks, does not block. Rice going to get plastered, no problem. Tight end is taking it away. And he's gone.
Back to live action. Ron Gray, a sophomore out of Portland, Oregon. Checks into the ball game. He's the ball carrier. Takes it out for a gain of 5. There's the scoring drive. 8 plays, 69 yards, 3 minutes, 50 seconds. And Johnson on the 29-yard pass play. There's Johnson on the phone.
Native of South Bend. And a good one.
straight up the middle. This is Jason Jones. Breaks it out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Andre Jones makes the stop for the Fighting Irish. And again, let's go back to the scoreboard and see what else is happening around the country. Arkansas, 7th ranked. Big battle down in the Southwest Conference has jumped on top. Southern Cal having few problems with Cal this evening. Kentucky trailing Rutgers. That one is early. And Eastern Michigan in the 3rd period leading over Liberty. Liberty moving up. Greg Johnson will be knocked down for a loss back at the 37-yard line. It's Alm and Dahl who combine in the stop. You see big number 90, Jeff Alm, 6'7", 270 pounds. 42 tackles in the year, 4 sacks, and also has a pass interception. It's a mountain to throw over, and particularly when you're that guy's size. D. Dallas at 5'10", very wiry at 153 pounds. Hey, he could run for most anything in this part of the country and win it hands down, couldn't he? Reverses it out. He's got room to run, but he throws. That's in at the 45, and he's down to the 40. Check it. It's Ben Hulson, the tight end, 82. Todd Light comes over to make the tackle.
You're going to see what he does best here. Watch number 6. Look at the footwork. Stop. Get the defense going the wrong way. Great decision here, and a strong arm by the little guy. On the run, not an easy pass to throw for a big first down for the Air Force.
Ben Hulson will get a break, and Mark Weber, a senior out of Bellevue, Washington, will come in. Ridley, Minnesota. And for Ben Hulson, his 9th catch of the season. Dallas down the line. And it's the fumble-rooski. Ball has been fumbled as the guard took the ball and went to the right side. Steve Wilson made the recovery. Now let's see who the ball carrier was. They had told us they might run this. 57 is David Young.
The quickest. He almost doesn't get it up. Put that thing away, David.
David is a sophomore out of Houston, Texas, carrying that thing like a loaf of bread. And he gets a carry of 13 yards.
All right, David. Got to be against Notre Dame. Take that one to his grave with him.
Straight ahead with the carry. Ron Gray puts a headgear down, but there's not much there. Ned Bolkar. Phillipsburg, New Jersey, his home. A couple of sacks for him on the season. One of the leading tackles for the Irish. And now there's the story. David Young on the sideline. Yeah. This is how it was. That run was 13 tonight. By Monday, it could be 33.
And 20 years from now, Lord knows.
103. Right up the middle, this is the fullback, Jason Jones. The Air Force Academy in really good shape at fullback between Rodney Lewis and Jason Jones. Two of the best athletes that they have as running backs.
But little guys. Here's Zorch, the middle guard. He's following the blocking. He feels it. They're trying to block him with an off guard. Not happening. He just takes that gap. And these fullbacks are excellent athletes, but they're a little bit undersized, both under 200 pounds. Wishbone fullbacks usually a little bigger than that, but very quick if they get loose. And that man, well, he's very quick and about 900 pounds.
Ideal size at 6'1", 270. Dallas lobs it, has a man, touchdown Fred. Force scores. Lou Holtz paces. The point is up and good by Joe Wood. And again, with 6 minutes left to play until halftime. The Air Force Academy cuts it back to 14.
This should not happen. I don't know what Smagala's looking at. He must be looking in the backfield. It was third and long. Sen is their leading receiver and just flat out beat him. And Sen is a possession receiver. Not great speed. Smagala, bad read. And D. Dowis is happy. Except for Raghib Ismail, this game would be a lot different.
And the freshman doing push-ups. Got to be at least 14.
Tower to Blue Demon 1, you are clear for takeoff. Tower, this is Blue Demon 1, we are airborne. Takeoff with the Falls Airborne Air Force, call 341-8010 for season ticket.
Kevin Kiley, close to sunset here in the Rockies. Boy, this is gorgeous. 7,200 feet. That's where we are. And the air just a little more rarefied as the Air Force Academy has cut it back to 14. Mike Cameron will kick it off. Trying to keep it away from Ismail again. But he's got it. And this time will be racked up at the 25-yard line. Take a look at the scoring drive for the Air Force Academy. 8 plays, 80 yards, 346. And Sen, the senior out of Albuquerque, with his 3rd touchdown of the 1989 season, takes it in.
And D. Dallas 5 for 7 now in the game, 136 yards and 2 touchdowns after his slow start. Tony Rice, though, 6 for 6, 99 yards.
Culver out to the 30-yard line. Defensively, Terry Walker, number 42, one of the inside backers, comes over to make the hit.
Draw play is a good call against the Air Force because they stay off the ball so far and they take slants. They do a lot of movement. They'll create their own holes, give Culver a little bit of time to look back there and find it, and he could get loose.
Side handoff to Anthony Johnson, close to the first down as he takes it up around the 35. Mike Juries, a senior out of Boise, comes over to make the tackle. He's got signs in the bench. There are signs all over this stadium. And in fact, yesterday, the cadet wing commander made an announcement at lunch. He said, "Freshmen, I want to see a lot of signs at the stadium tomorrow." And about 30 seconds went by, and this chant went up from the entire freshman class, said, "We can't make signs. We got to clean up our rooms. We can't make signs. We got to clean up our rooms." And I don't know. Anthony Johnson got turned for a flip at the line of scrimmage, and he needed the 30 and a half. Gladney was the first man to come through and make the hit. And he doesn't have it. They have spotted the ball shy of the 30.
Gladney, 6 sacks, 3 interceptions, and one heck of a player. Number 45 just buried under there. That was an unbalanced line by Notre Dame. Sheer power. And the Air Force defense stood up to it. You can hear him screaming.
First punt of the night by Notre Dame. Who does it all as far as the kicking game. Jimmy Sexton also does some of the kicking. Bobby Thomas, the return man for the Air Force Academy. He is a single safety, standing back at the 25. Line drive, spiral, and he's not going to be able to catch it, and this is into the end zone. 66 yards, and it was slowing down rapidly as he got inside the 10. Well, next Saturday, College Game Day, 11:30 Eastern Time with Bob Bino and Lee. And then followed by a triple header at 12:30 Eastern Time. The Illini taking on Michigan State. The North Carolina State against Clemson at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. And Kevin and I will be in Tallahassee. Take a look at that matchup. Auburn won today in quite a battle over LSU, 10-7. We'll have that one next Saturday evening. Dallas going to be knocked down for a loss, and it's Chris Zorich.
Well, the Falcons have gotten Notre Dame's attention now, and now the question is, can they move it with Notre Dame fired up? Stop them on that series defensively, and have worked them over pretty good in the second quarter offensively. Now we'll see. Can they get that passing game going?
For Dallas tonight, 3 rushes for 4 yards. Wants to throw, has it complete. That is Van Hulsen, his tight end, out to the 40-yard line.
Okay, here's Van Hulsen again. We told you he could play for anybody, but Smagala, he doesn't get hit. That's a mistake. Jones should have hit him. Smagala, 29, right of your screen, is going to fall down. He's up again. He fell down in the coverage. And again, the little guy who's a little inconsistent, they say, Dallas, with his arm, has been right on target.
It was Pat Terrell, 15, who made the stop. Dallas to the open side, stumbles, gets the pitch away. It is loose, and Notre Dame recovers at the 34. Chris Zorich comes up with the recovery.
Coming in now, Air Force had only fumbled 11 times and lost 6 of them. Bad decision by Dallas. He has no control. Throws that thing. May have been handled, but not really a great pitch to Greg Johnson. It could have been handled had Johnson taken a step forward, but who knows if he's going to pitch it. Pitchers are very upset. He should be.
So the Irish at the 35. Will hold on and take it in the vicinity of the 32. Number 18, Mario Mathis, from his free safety position. Good look at Zorich. These are the kind of things, mistakes, that Notre Dame forces you into. Do something that you're not able to do. Dallas, not real happy with himself right now. Ismail comes in at tailback again. Gets the pitch. Mike Juries from his safety spot comes up to make the tackle for the Air Force Academy, and the full moon is out.
I can feel my fingernails growing and the hair on my back getting longer.
What did you do last night on Friday the 13th?
It is pretty here. Been pretty for 3 days.
This place is gorgeous when it's cloudy, but we've had 3 magnificent days in Colorado Springs. 28-14, Notre Dame on top. 3rd down, they need the 25. Rice will keep it, and he will be denied the first down marker. That'll be shy by a yard, and it's Brian Hill. Just over a minute to play until halftime. No movement on the near sideline by Notre Dame. No special teams, so they will go for it on 4th down.
The reason is that Heinrich has 32 is his long for the year so far. Field goal kicker.
Straight ahead, 1st down. Anthony Johnson over the top of the pile. That'll stop the clock for a moment with 52 ticks left until the intermission. That man would like to see fast forward on the clock right now. Don't forget, at halftime, we'll be going back to Bob Carpenter. USF&G halftime report. Bringing you up to date on today's action in college football. Another shocker. Texas defeats Oklahoma in the annual fray in the Cotton Bowl. We'll have that and many others. Ismail on the reverse. Near sideline. He'll walk in. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
For the Xerox representative, please report to the press box. The Xerox representative, please report to the press box.
You know, Kev, you're right. Might need to do another opening on this show and talk about a third Heisman Trophy candidate at this ball game tonight, huh?
Well, I give this one to Lou Holtz. This is just a great call. We'll have the point after, and then we'll show you the replay.
Everett with the extra point attempt, and he gets knocked down, and a marker comes in after the kick. And it's going to be a roughing the kicker call against the Air Force Academy.
That's a big problem. We'll talk about that in a minute. Here's the replay. Air Force is slanting to the wide side of the field. Now here's Ismail. The Air Force is slanting to the left, away from the reverse. See their entire line? There's just no one there. And we have ignition, liftoff, and escape velocity again. This guy is a true superstar, an incredible weapon. And as you can see, he knows they made a bad call defensively. That's not his players. His players were not in position to make the play. It had nothing to do with the individual players, only the call defensively.
If you look at Rocket, who was only a sophomore, you could see the wall of blockers, and the last guy who was out there, as it's now 35-14, was Dean Brown. This is what he has done tonight. 156 yards. Talking about Dean Brown, one of the offensive linemen for the Irish, out front leading in the convoy, almost 300 pounds on him.
It's like living in a postcard out here. It's beautiful, beautiful place.
Haunting full moon. I don't know if you saw that quote for the president or not. That's pretty doggone accurate. Best use of speed since Chuck Yeager broke the sound barrier. This kick is going to go 10 yards beyond the end zone line. Big plays tonight already. Ismail has done his damage. The Air Force Academy has come back with a couple of pass plays to get back into the ball game, but every time that the Air Force Academy has countered, Notre Dame had an answer. Right now back on top by 21. Keeper tries to get outside. He'll be nailed after a gain of only 3. See the clock running down. No huddle on the offense. Right up the middle with Rodney Lewis, and that, unless Air Force calls a timeout. The clock will stop momentarily as the will advance on the far sideline, but not much time left. Another score that Bob will have in just a moment. Texas A&M shocking the University of Houston today at College Station. So there's a timeout on the field with 6 seconds left until halftime. We'll go away for a moment. 5-14 score, just a couple of shakes away from halftime. And coming up at a halftime, studio host Bob Carpenter with the USF&G halftime report. Scores and highlights from around the nation today. In the spread out, still looking, gets his pass away, and incomplete. Looking for Greg Johnson, who had come out of the backfield, and with that, the clock goes to 0-0. We are at halftime in Colorado Springs as they head to the locker room. Fighting Irish 35, the Falcons 14. Now to Bob Carpenter.
All right, Ron, thank you very much. And when you look at a matchup like this
down the field, and oddly enough, it was a penalty, a delay of game. Otherwise, they would have been stopped in their initial third down. But what was the turning point? Well, this guy right here, Kevin Kiley.
Well, he was the turning point and then the turning point again. This is a punt return, 56 yards. Not so much that Air Force was out of position, but the Rocket went to the afterburners and he was in. And then late in the half, good call here. Defense going the wrong way. Gladney got pinned. It was a reverse again to the Rocket. And again, he was in. No problem. They need to tie his shoelaces together, Ron, I think.
This play right here shows all about the youngster. Not just speed, balance, and also strength. Look how many tackles he breaks along the way. Raghib Ismail, and he's only a sophomore.
He'll be wearing the Heisman Trophy for earrings here in another 2 years if he keeps this up.
Well, take a look at this, Kevin. This is just for every time he's touched it, whether it's a pass, a punt, or a running play. Almost 14 yards of magic every time he does it for 2 touchdowns.
Well, again, I mean to harp on it, but when you talk about a Heisman Trophy candidate, you have to talk about a guy, a total offense guy, and if every time he touches the ball it's going to be 14 yards, who else would you give it to?
I can't think of anybody, and I'm also anxious to see now, from the beginning of the year, after he ran the 2 distance kickoffs back against Michigan, everybody says we're not going to kick to him. You should take a look at Gray and Jason Jones, the 2 deep men. Heinrich waiting for the football as we're getting set to open the second half. To continue that thought, though, everybody said, don't worry, we're not going to kick to him and nobody else will. Look how many people have since then.
Well, I think, too, you have to give Lou Holtz credit. Lou was putting him in the way of the ball, too.
Well, that's true. You put him at the top of the eye, and all of a sudden things change. He also is going to force a lot of people to play a lot of zone against Notre Dame, because how could you possibly even think, let alone do it, go man-man, and wind up with a situation of the linebacker on it?
Right. Well, you can play combination. You can play combination with him. You can play combination zone man-to-man. But what he does is make your defense predictable, which is, you know what the Rocket's going to do.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, what the Rocket is going to do for you is he's going to simplify things for Notre Dame's offense.
Heinrich kicks it off to open the second half. And again, Gray is the closest man to it, but it's out of the back of the end zone. So the halftime stats: 266 yards Notre Dame, a little bit misleading as far as over 200 for the Air Force Academy. The time of possession, and Lou Holtz made a point of that last night.
First quarter almost entirely Notre Dame. The wild statistic there is the 160 passing for Air Force. They've been very effective with the passing game.
This is Lewis, goes at left guard, takes it for only 1. The point that Lou was making is that the longer we hold on to the football, the less I have to see of the Air Force Academy wishbone.
We didn't see much of it in the first quarter, for sure. But I really believe the Air Force Academy has to throw on first down, almost every first down. They need to get Notre Dame thinking pass so they can loosen up their wishbone. Did it in the second quarter, it worked fine.
Tight end flexes out about 12 to the left. Dallas on the keeper to that side of the field, which is the short side. And it's going to be a 3rd down and 5. The possession chart also a horrible field position as far as Air Force. Taking the football over around their 20-yard line at least 6 times in the first half. You see they put the 2 drives back-to-back together. But also, Kevin, as we mentioned back in the first half, Notre Dame had an answer every time Air Force came back and scored. Dallas looking to throw, backside, has it complete at the 37 to Van Holzen, the tight end. He's going to wind up with as many receptions in this one ball game as he has in the whole season.
But no reason not to throw the ball. They've killed him on this. Again, nobody stops Van Holzen. This ball is in the air now. Van Holzen, no time for Smagala to react. Dallas, tremendous reaction. Van Holzen, this thing has worked. They need to pass on first down. Absolutely essential.
Goes at right tackle, brings it out to the 40. And you see number 50 again, Chris Zork. He has been all around the football all night long. In fact, in visiting with the Air Force coaches, they said that the 2 people that bothered them most because of the wishbone and where they have to go to make things work was Zork and also Todd Light, the cornerback on the left.
Light because he's the wide corner, and they like to run wide with the wishbone, and Zork because he outweighs the center by 35 pounds.
Reverses, takes a little quick stagger step, but he's going to have the first down. Don Grimm got a hand out to trip him up, but this will move the chains.
Kevin Bell, left guard, number 53, 240 in the center. Walski, good job. They get Zorge pinned. And that, remember, the fullback on the Air Force team is like a halfback, less than 200 pounds, very quick.
reverses. Going to go long. Sin, and it is almost intercepted. Todd Light, the man we were talking about just a couple of plays ago, number 1, a junior out of Flint, Michigan. And he already has 4 interceptions this year for the Fighting Irish.
Holding on the Air Force Academy. They really need to depend more on their blocking, less on their blocking, more on Dallas's ability to fake. He did a great job in the backfield, wasn't threatened there at all. But you can understand them holding the bigger defensive line for Notre Dame.
Holding on the offense. Repeat first down.
Jack Baker,
number 56, Paul Walski, goes down. He has Zorich, and then he says, well, he's still up. It's a takedown for Walski.
So the new line of scrimmage to 39. The Air Force needs the Notre Dame 41. Dallas on that quick looking pass, incomplete. Looking again for Van Hulsen, the tight end.
Dallas is a little bit of an erratic thrower. A good strong arm, not big as we've said many times, but sometimes off target. He's 7 for 11, 173 yards in this game. Has played well, has passed well.
You have another amount of pressure that Notre Dame puts on you. Obviously, the corners are extremely quick. They have great times in the 40. Their 2 safeties, Terrell and Francisco, are both 4.35 sprinters. That's extremely quick for safeties.
Francisco was a converted corner.
Second and long, Dallas, and he's going to run it. Heads for the sidelines, and he'll get out of bounds with still about 10 yards to pick up. It's Andre Jones who ran him out. Up around midfield.
Notre Dame wanted him to run this ball, and they got what they wanted. They had the coverage. A man cleared in the zone by the time he did. Dallas had pulled it down and headed for the sideline.
Dallas now 6 rushes for 11 yards. He needs 172 yards to break the record of Freddie Solomon, rushing yardage for a quarterback. I think that Notre Dame defense is not tough. That number tells it. Complete to Johnson. Short of the first down by 3 yards.
For a 6-yard gain.
Air Force Academy, very frustrating. They need to go for this. Air Force Academy flooded the zone, and Notre Dame game. The short man came up and made the stop. Have to go for it, I think. You don't want their offense back on the field.
Number 11 there is Dan Zedroit, the junior out of Stevens Point, Wisconsin. He will not be bringing the play in, though. It's Van Hulsen, the tight end. 11:50 left to play, third period. Notre Dame 35, Air Force 14. So a timeout called by the Air Force Academy. Let's take a break. 35-14, Irish on top. We'll be right back.
I was feeling pretty good when I saw my boy Joe in that new Oldsmobile. I thought Joe'd finally matured some. But that new Cutlass Glade doesn't look like any Oldsmobile that I ever had. It's got something called a high output Quad 4 engine. The next thing you know, Joe will be bringing home girls.
This is not your father's Oldsmobile. This is the new generation of Olds.
Now get up to a $1,600 cash bonus on a 1990 Cutlass Calais. See your Olds dealer today.
Big screen television comes the sound to go with it. Frankly, my dear, I don't give it.
Mitsubishi Home Theater Systems. Now playing at a dealer near you.
ESPN's College Football Saturday, Notre Dame versus Air Force, is brought to you by Oldsmobile and their all-new four-door Cutlass Supreme. By Levi's 505 and 506 jeans. And by Mitsubishi Big Screen Televisions. This game would look better on a Mitsubishi Big Screen. Ron Franklin and Kevin Kiley from the beautiful surroundings of Colorado Springs, Colorado, the U.S. Air Force Academy. And right now, the Falcons on fourth down. They need the 41. Dallas on the spread out. Throws it in and out of the Zen. Oh, my goodness, he had it. And Dallas, to show how unselfish he was, Kev, I think he could have run it.
He could have, but he was there. I mean, this play worked exactly the way they wanted to do it. Now, Zen is going to find an open spot for him. Top of your screen, number 83. He looks, and now he's working to the inside. Dallas right there between the hands. He beat Todd Light. See, Air Force needs to play a perfect game tonight, and they have not done that.
Rice going to go long and overthrown. Ismail, the intended receiver, down at the 10-yard line. Take a look at the possession chart for the Irish in the first half. Opening kickoff, and they took it down. See a lot of long yellow. Boy, that's tough when the first 4 times you touch the football, you come away with points, and all of them are 7-point.
The killer was at 56. That was a one-play, 56-yard punt return, and that was a backbreaker.
Drop play to Waters. Weaves his way out across the 47 to the 48. Mike Jury,
Waters, the ball carrier.
from his safety spot, plays the Falcon position, as it is called here at the Air Force Academy, is the man who makes the defensive play.
4 on the play.
This is where the Air Force Academy has collapsed defensively on third and a passing situation. Now, they've been little more than a nuisance to Notre Dame so far, the defense. And this is a big play, and they need to make something happen.
Protection, zips it, and he's got another first down. That's Pat Eilers. Inside the 35 to the Air Force 33. Litsky and Jury's combined on the stop, but it's good for 20. Kevin, you pegged it. Third down's been the killer.
Well, this is where they're really at a disadvantage. They simply don't have the athletes. They have to play soft. They do. Eilers, a possession receiver, just looking for a dead spot over the first down marker. And Rice, who is sometimes undervalued as a passer, hits this man, Pat Eilers, right in the chest. 7 for 8, 136 yards for Tony Rice, the man who can't pass, supposedly.
Hit and knocked down at the line of scrimmage is Johnson. Strange looking play. So the line surged before the snap came. But we don't see any markers down. Well, anyway, the rhythm was off on that one from the very start. They did. That's procedure. That should have been 5 yards.
The center missed the count. You never see that. Yeah, that's how a quarterback gets broken fingers that way. Tough for the center to miss the count. Should we identify him? Sure, it's Mike Belt. Mike, you missed the count.
Rocket is the man at the top of the yard. Here comes the blitz. Rice on the keeper with the action, has one man to beat, and he's shoved out of bounds. First and goal at the 7. Faison saved the touchdown. It's a gain of 25.
Again, the blitz, everybody inside is lost, and Rice finding the seam, making the instant decision, something he does so well, and turning it upfield. An interesting note about Tony Rice, as they asked him about the NFL, he may not play in the NFL. Here's Brennan, number 64, making a nice block on the corner. Said he might not play in the NFL. What he'd like to do is go into business, make bags of money, and they said, where? He said, maybe Colorado Springs.
Ismail, he takes a shot at the 5-yard line. Brian Hill stands him up and then pushes him back. They're going to give him forward progress at about the 5.5-yard line.
Okay, Raghib needs to remember, He is not a straight-ahead runner at 175 pounds. Nice job by the Air Force defense as they swarm. His gyroscope messed up. Brian Hill made the tackle. You can see how small the linebackers are. 5'11", 205.
The wishbone set. Rice will keep it to the 3. Rob Litsky, the left corner, the first man to come over and make contact. Going under 9 minutes to play in this third period. 35-14. Notre Dame leads and looking for more. You know, you mentioned Brennan just a moment ago on the block. What, a lacrosse scholarship?
He walked on.
But had played lacrosse. Started off at tight end and is now not only a starter, very good player at that left tackle position.
He was 180 pounds when he came here. A former high school All-American lacrosse player.
Walked away. Almost intercepted. In fact, Faison put the hatchet on it. If he intercepts that, that's 99 yards of turf.
That's one of those plays you're just so surprised. Now, Faison probably could have got this. Great play by Bean. He puts the pressure on. Now, this is up for grabs. Faison needs to use that other hand, but that's a natural reaction for a defender to just swat that thing down. Good play all around by the Air Force defense.
21-yard attempt, 6 of 10 overall of the year. Heinrich with a good spot, and again, right down the middle. So the Fighting Irish, the #1 ranked team in the nation, increased their lead 38-14.
I tell my dad I'm buying a new car, and he'd say, "Fluffer and Fluckotash, get a sensible car. Get a comfortable car. Dog, get a gorgeous car. Get a reasonably priced car." No, I did! A Cutlass Sierra. Great when you buy it, drive it, trade it, but more can a family want.
That's all, folks.
Now get up to a $1,600 cash bonus on a 1990 Cutlass Sierra. See your Olds dealer today.
Life's full of simple pleasures. Like the comfort of Levi's jeans. Or had you forgotten?
Last year, Rusty Wallace fed past Jeff Bodine in a furious finish. This year, look for more short track excitement at the Holly Farms 400. Sunday afternoon at 12:30 Eastern, live on ESPN.
This week on ESPN Scholastic Sports America, the Indianapolis Speedway is known for fast and powerful cars. But just a few miles north of here, Brett Law is setting records as one of the fastest, most powerful high school running backs ever. That's this week on ESPN.
8:24 left in the third period, and Notre Dame extends that lead now 38-14. Heinrich, who has earned his...
They love that thin air. The kickers love to kick in the mountains.
Notre Dame has not been affected by the 7,200 feet of rare air, though. On the gray side. And again, the Air Force Academy will scrimmage from their own 20-yard line. Well, Liberty, with 11 seconds left in the ball game, to a touchdown pass to win 25-24 over Eastern Michigan. That's Sam Rutigliano's team, right?
Bob Justino to Eric Green with 11 seconds to go. Sam was my coach when I was with the New York Jets. He was a defensive backfield coach. Great guy. Congratulations. A big win for Little Liberty.
11 seconds left to play, and they win it. Pull it out.
Well, their goal is to play Notre Dame someday. I'd like to do that game.
To pump once, gets the pass complete. It's Van Hulsen again.
That was the pass complete to Van Hulsen.
9 plays, just over 3 minutes, and the field goal by Heinrich. 21 yards.
Good job by the Falcons not letting them in. They don't have much of a chance in this game at this point, but that certainly did help. And again, they need to pass on first down, and they did on that series from the 20-yard line. Believe me, I believe that is the key to any success they will have.
Short yardage play, Lewis right up the middle. He'll have the first down. Volcar from the inside linebacking spot, number 47, steps up into the hole.
Ed Volcar, only the 10th player, number 47, in Notre Dame history as he steps up and makes contact. In Notre Dame history, to be a captain for this team 2 consecutive years. Ed Volcar. He was the 3rd linebacker last year. They had some problems this season, and the coach lost Michael Stonebreaker before the season began. He is the captain and an outstanding performer.
You can see him shaking his head. He's come out for a moment. Michael Smalls in the line. Dallas on the keeper. Turns it up. Has 10, 15, 20. Counted off at 23. Far and away his longest run of the night.
Again, remember now, they pass on first down left. They're playing just a little bit looser. Good block at the corner. Now watch what Dallas does here. He has a pitch man. No. Has a man fall down. Steps inside. And down the line. Very, very quick. The first time tonight we've had a chance to see just how quick this little guy is. Throw a pass. That's what I would do. Throw a pass. Loosen it up.
They go with Greg Johnson, the senior out of San Antonio. He bangs it down to around the 41. Don Grimm wraps him up. Oh, for D. Dallas, what a career he's had here at the Air Force Academy, but he also was a little mixed up at a time. Maybe Vanderbilt, maybe Georgia Tech. He thought about transferring. People here in Colorado Springs were extremely glad that he decided to continue to wear the blue.
Originally recruited by Georgia.
Lewis off the left side, gets off one tackler, close to the first down as they shove him back. He's inside the 40. Keep up with what else is going on around the country. World Series Game 1. Oakland jumping out on top of that one. Bottom of the 2nd inning. Arkansas leading a shutout right now out of the South Plain in Lubbock. Southern California continues to roll. Kentucky trying to bounce back after that loss to Auburn last week. Lewis, may have the first down. Junior Bryant, the freshman out of Omaha, the first guy to step up and make the smack, and you could hear that lick. Also, looked like Volcar down on the bottom of the stack. Yep, it is, number 47. You know, one other thing and a point that you've got to make about D. Dallas, and I mentioned back in the first half or on the 4th down play when the receiver dropped the ball, but he could have run it. But unselfish is actually his middle name. I've never known a youngster who was in the spotlight anymore, but yet enjoyed it maybe as little as he did. He just really doesn't care about that. Sounds corny, but he'd rather talk about team.
I think that's what makes him work, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And in a wishbone, what better kid could you have standing behind the center in a wishbone but somebody who's willing to give the ball up?
Oh, Lewis missed it by just that margin. But what a great attribute. And I think one of the reasons that Air Force Academy, but the administration and all the people in this part of the country that get to see him play, I think that's one of the reasons they have so much admiration for D. Dallas.
They love the kid.
They do.
They love him.
Extremely, extremely unselfish. 38-14 our count. Just under 6 minutes to play, 3rd period. You see Fisher to Berry there on the sideline. He goes back a ways with Lou Holtz. They'd know each other when Lou was at North Carolina State.
He was at Appalachian State. Yeah. This is the worst possible scenario for Air Force. They're really outmanned on the defensive line to the offensive line.
Dallas will turn it up, loses the football, and Notre Dame recovers at the 41-yard line. He had the first down. Devon McDonald comes up with the loose football. It was Andre Jones who made the contact, though, Kevin, and knocked it away.
Well, a wishbone team that has a yard to go and is going to have difficulty getting it, that's what you're looking at here, Air Force. So watch the penetration immediately. Taking the gap there, they force Dallas deep, and now he has the first down. He's headed for it, and the ball gets loose. Tipped out of the way, and here comes Devon McDonald. That was 36, Don Grimm, I think, to put a hand in there, and Fisher DeBarry's had a few bad breaks tonight, as you can see.
goes down as Rice will take it out around the 43-yard line. Lane Bean defensively for the Air Force Academy out there to make the stop. Clipping on the offense called against Notre Dame. And as the penalty is stepped off, another point I'd like to make. We mentioned the fact that Notre Dame has been laboring through midterm exams, which is extremely tough. And Lou said some of his kids have been coming to practice looking like zombies. Fisher DeBerry also made the point in our meeting with him yesterday that because of the extremely tough and rigid schedule here at the Air Force Academy, that his kids only average about 5 to 5.5 hours of sleep per night.
Another point he made along with that one was that they work on such a time schedule. Defense can't keep these kids after practice. It's got to turn them loose on a time schedule. It's a military schedule. They have to be somewhere else, so we cannot work on that problem until the next day. Very difficult.
Play action. Rice zips it. It is intercepted. Gladney, and he'll take it back to the 34.
It was never there. Notre Dame went unbalanced right. They were looking to drag a man across. Randall Gladney going in, led this team with 3 interceptions. And you'll see 45 just sit in the zone. Rice has plenty of time. Never sees Gladney. Throws it right to him. See, they're trying to get the drag man. That's Brown across the middle of tight end 86. And Gladney just sitting in his zone, picks it off.
Third interception of the year thrown by Tony Rice. And only the first turnover by Notre Dame tonight. Straight ahead, Jason Jones, the sophomore out of Grand Prairie, Texas, just outside of Dallas in the carry, but Bob Dahl is standing right there, big number 93.
They've scored on 9 of 10 drives following a takeaway, 8 touchdowns. But very frankly, they have not been playing Notre Dame all year. They're scheduled to this point San Diego State, Wyoming, Northwestern, Texas, El Paso, Colorado State. All fine programs, but not number 1 in the country.
2 wideouts for the Falcons this time. Dallas gets it away, incomplete. That was Steve Zahn who was close to it. D was running for his life. Don Graham, one of the reasons, the junior out of Scottsdale, Pennsylvania.
Those of you that watch Notre Dame know that that is Russ Grimm's brother, formerly of Pitt and an All-Pro with the Washington Redskins. Was a center and a guard, and still is for the Redskins, a fine player.
Notre Dame leading. 4:19 left in this third period. Dallas looking for somebody to ad-lib for it. Has a man free, and it's complete inside the 10 to Chris Howard. First and goal, Air Force.
You know what they say about the Air Force team. The reason they're dangerous, discipline, intelligence. Watch number 34. He knows right away. Here I am, D. Here I am. Slips deep past the defense, and Dallas, disciplined and intelligence, drops it right over the defense. A big, big play. That's a great play by the Falcons. I'm sure they didn't draw it up that way. 10 for 16. Now 214 yards for D. Dallas. Air Force goal to go. 10 out of 11.
Pitch on the reverse, right there defensively, and Zedroit can only pick up a yard. Kowalkowski defensed it to a T.
Well, what could Zedroit have been thinking of? You're not supposed to be seeing anybody when you get the pitch. And here's Kowalkowski. He was there all the way, just standing there waiting. That's pretty good defense. Excellent coaching. Barry Alvarez, the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame, had him ready for that one.
Dallas into the middle. Wow, you could see him get knocked back. Kolakowski, one of the first men there, in the 92, Brian Flannery, a senior out of Lakewood, Ohio. And it will be third down and goal to Air Force. 9 carries, 32 yards so far for Dallas.
Flannery, a key player for Notre Dame, a backup, but he can play all 3 positions. He has been very, very effective for them, a key player. They have not allowed a rushing touchdown this season, Notre Dame. Third down here. I would expect Air Force to try to throw the ball, but again, this is a disadvantage for them. Short yardage with that small line.
Quick pass, knocked away. Nice defense by Pat Terrell. Terrell with 3 interceptions on the year. That's not what he had in mind there. He just wanted to knock it down to make sure that the Air Force did not get the 6.
Thing that Terrell does so well, he doesn't bite on the run fake. See that? Normally a safety would bite on that. This is a touchdown. If Terrell just sat, he didn't go for the run fake. One of the reasons is because the defensive line has been so dominant, the safety could play a little bit softer, and that was the difference in the play. Something wide. He's going to have to come out wide, give him some options.
On fourth down, Dallas still looking, drills it, tipped in the end zone. It's intercepted by Todd Light. Well, the defense of Notre Dame is giving that hat a workout of Fisher DeBerry's tonight. Notre Dame stops the drive. 2 minutes, 16 seconds left in the third period. Irish showing why they're number 1.
I'm Dr. Chambers from the Chambers Hair Institute. I train doctors on the art of hair transplantation and other restoration methods. I train them on the art of how to make a natural hairline and a crown that's undetectable. Don't tell me all clinics are alike. I know the difference. That's why I have prepared this video to show you how to choose a clinic that's qualified for you. So order this tape. It will help you.
When your car is in the shop up on the lift, it's like your life is up in the air. You have to call your friends for rides. It's a pain for everybody. I drive Buick LeSabre. It's rated the most trouble-free American car. Could be the nicest thing I've done for myself and my friends. Get the facts. Buick is better.
Right now, get up to $1,000 factory cash back on the sensational new 1990 Buicks, depending on the option package you choose. Test drive the most trouble-free American cars at your better Buick dealer.
Trofeo, Trofeo. It's a new generation and we want a new
sequential port, fuel injection, anti-lock brakes.
Days come and we want a new horse.
Visual information center handles great.
This Oldsmobile is not our father's.
New generation for the sons and daughters.
Trofeo. This is the new generation of Oldsmobile.
24-point lead for the Irish with just over 2 minutes to play third period. That's the first interception that Dallas has suffered in 1989. Hang on, it breaks off a couple of tackles, still going all the way to the 35.
Again, 1 interception on the year for Dallas. Watch 47, middle of your screen in the white shirt Bolt car. Tremendous reaction here.
Mike Stone, please report to the press box.
Todd Light will be sitting back
please
there.
report to the press box.
Picking it off. That's his 5th interception of the year, Todd Light.
Pitch back comes to Waters, who has come back in the game at tailback, breaks off a tackle himself, runs over a man, and is down inside the 45-yard line. Bob Lutschke makes the stop. Good hit. Notre Dame back running with abandon this evening.
Well, here's what Waters didn't do on that touchdown early in the first quarter. Watch him lower his shoulder. There it is, the hat and the shoulder pads. Can't get low enough, nothing to grab. It's all plastic, and now we can use that speed and that open field running ability to pick up some pretty good yardage. Number 12, former wide receiver, Ricky Waters.
With the fullback, Anthony Johnson. Takes it for a couple, Randall Gladney. Steps up to make the stop. Gladney's a great story.
But he's got a sister who's in the Coast Guard, a brother, two brothers. One who's in the Army, another in the Navy. There's a younger brother coming along, and they're trying to get him to go to the Marines so they can cover all bases. Move and takes it close to the first down around the 35-yard line.
Tim Grunhardt, 292-pound right guard, number 75. You're going to see him coming right at you. You better get out of your chairs at home. He gets Bean, and then Rice reads it perfectly inside the trap block, and he'll pick up 9 yards. You know, we've talked a lot about Air Force, and Notre Dame had some depth problems, playing a lot of freshmen. We should talk a little bit after this play about some of the people they've lost off of this team. A great deal of fine athletes, still their number one.
The first down. Mario Mathis is there to make the stop after he loses his footing. And that is the end of the third period. So here in Colorado Springs, we head to the final 15, and Notre Dame with a commanding lead.
Today, many of the Fortune 500's heaviest hitters will leave town on business. They'll be carrying SkyTel's nationwide pages with voicemail, which means they'll get information sooner and help customers faster. Which is how the heavy hitters get to be heavy hitters. SkyTel, that great communication system in the sky. For more information, call 1-800-456-all-threes.
Here's a great idea. This Halloween, greet the monsters at your door with Happy Halloween certificates from McDonald's. They're 10 for $1. The neighborhood gang can turn them in for free McDonald's dessert treats like cones and sample-sized sundaes. You can count on a safe Halloween with Happy Halloween certificates from McDonald's. Now that's using your head.
SLR autofocus system. Superior intelligence. Only from the mind of Minolta.
The fiber that's pound for pound, 5 times stronger than steel, and is used in this bullet-resistant vest, makes up the unique belt of Road Handler treadlock radials. Great low price.
To tackle all this and more, Texas Steer insulated work boots in regular width, wide width, and nubuck leather. Just $29.99 on sale now at Kmart.
Well, as we head to the fourth period, Notre Dame continuing to hold on to the 24-point lead. These youngsters still have not lost their enthusiasm. Fourth down for the Irish. Johnson straight ahead on the carry, and he'll have the first down plus a couple.
Talk about some of the players that Notre Dame has lost. Tony Brooks, an outstanding tailback, had some problems with the books. He is out of school. Defensively, they lost defensive lineman George Williams, who would have been a starter. He was gone. Arnold Ali, defensive lineman, he's gone. The 3 backups are true freshmen. You look at Lou Holtz, they're still number 1. People think that Notre Dame can do no wrong. They have unlimited talent. Well, they do have talent, but a lot of that are pure freshman talent this year. And what a job Lou Holtz has done.
Whoa, they spotted that thing a little bit farther back upfield than I thought. He's going to have it by length and a half of the football. Lou can be kind of pessimistic sometimes, but that's because he seeks perfection. Not only an extremely good coach. One of the things he talked about last night, though, is just what Kevin has been mentioning. He said, we've got to, regardless of the situation of the ballgame, we've got to get some of these younger people in and get them some time, give them some experience.
That's Michael Stonebreaker, too, and Foley, a good inside linebacker with an arm injury. Both of them gone.
Wishbone set. That's Ismail. Going to be cracked hard after picking up 5. Hold on to the football there, Ragib. Mario Mathis up in the free safety spot along with Terry Walker. Will make the stop on him.
Frustration on the Falcon defense must be incredible with Ismail. Now, Ismail has been the difference in this game. Now, if I'm playing defense against this guy, and he did to me what he's done to these guys, when I get a hold of him, you know when you get that fly, finally the one that's flying around the kitchen, and you get him with the first shot with the fly swat, he just want to keep hitting him and hitting him and hitting him. Ruggy's got to be careful here.
Swings it out. That's a lateral. This is Waters. Turns it up with a head of steam. Will have the first down. +5. Lipsky from the cornerback spot finally puts a stopper on him. Possibly saved a touchdown.
Here's Ismail again, number 25, and he's just kind of hanging out. He'll make the block on the inside linebacker, Walker. And then you see Waters. This is what Waters does. A big part of Notre Dame's offense. Get it out to the skill people like Waters and Ismail and let them give them a little open field and let them go. And you can see how well it works.
Slips right up the middle. Hit. Breaks off one tackle, but it's Terry Walker. Just as Culver got the ball, he got the defensive back at the same time. Storyline in this one here in Colorado Springs so far through 3 periods. Rice has had a magnificent evening.
So has Dallas, really. He's thrown very well. Notre Dame, the scoring on possessions is big, and you do need to be a rocket scientist to figure this out, because that's been the story.
Rolls the pocket, dumps it off, incomplete. Looking for Anthony Johnson. You know, Tony is quite a story. A Prop 48 kid who stuck it out, held on. He should be an inspiration to a lot of kids.
If you talk to Tony Rice, all Tony Rice wants to talk about is the psychology degree that he is going to get. Yes. Came in as a Prop 48 kid, could not go to practice. And if you can imagine a player of this caliber not even being able to go to practice his first year. He hung in there. He did call home. He cried. He wanted to go back to South Carolina. His mom said, stay in school, Tony. You can do it. You've done it.
Mom. That's right.
That's right. There's a lot of credit.
Reverses it out. Does anybody stay at home? Not enough. Touchdown to the tight end, Derek Brown. He is beyond the line of scrimmage, though, Kevin. A marker has just come down. Now, that is a loss of down. We talked about situations of losing the down a couple of weeks ago.
Look at Lou.
Illegal forward pass. Loss of down. 4th down.
All right, Tony Rice. Number 9. Let's see where he throws it from. The line of scrimmage about the 15. I don't know. What do you think? It's kind of hard to tell. About the 17-yard line.
17 is the line of scrimmage, yeah. To attempt the field goal, 38 yards. Sexton the holder. Plenty of distance, and he's good. So at 12 minutes, 42 seconds left in the ball game. The Fighting Irish put 3 more on the board. 41-14.
This Jeep Cherokee is doing the kind of four-wheeling that its competition isn't designed to do. Unlike Cherokee, the competition recommends shifting out of four-wheel drive on paved surfaces, which is unfortunate since you never know when you might need it. But Cherokee with Select Track gives you the security of remaining in four-wheel drive on any surface. After all, doing what other vehicles can't do is what Jeep does best.
Now, get up to $1,000 cash back on 1992 and four-door Jeep Cherokees.
You're looking sharp. You're looking good. You've come so far. And we know how to make the most of who you are.
sun. It's what we've always done. Gillette.
The Gillette Atra Plus system and Gillette Foamy Shave Cream together, the best a man can get.
The best a man can get.
Build and shape our future, we invite you to learn the technology of tomorrow while you serve your country in the Navy of today.
ESPN's College Football Saturday, Notre Dame versus Air Force, is brought to you by Jeep. There's only one Jeep. By Gillette and the Gillette Atra Plus shaving system. Gillette. And by Anheuser-Busch. We brew our fine quality beers to be enjoyed responsibly. Remember, know when to say when. Record crowd on hand tonight as they look on with disappointment, but yet over 53,000. In fact, 53,533. First time that the #1 ranked team has come into Falcon Stadium to play. Deep in the end zone again. Ron Gray has seen that ball go over his head all night long. 11 plays, 59 yards, just over 4.5 minutes, and the field goal by Hydrate.
Something to be said for Air Force's defense. Notre Dame has scored but 6 points with a little less than 13 minutes to go in the second half. They've only gotten 6 points and 2 good stands by the Air Force defense. They need to cut one loose here.
The 214 yards passing by Dallas. Option. Oop, not a good read on that one. Bob Dahl is there to knock him down. It's one of the things that the Air Force Academy keeps a chart on, which is very interesting, and that is his read, success with them, whether it was a good read or whether it was not. That one was not.
Coming into this game, he's done extremely well with the reads. He operates over 90% making the correct read for an option quarterback. That's really remarkable.
Option to the open side as the pitch comes back to Howard. Hit hard, and he'll be knocked down at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a third down situation for the Air Force. Don Grimm, along with DeJuan Francisco, the senior out of Cincinnati, coming over to make the hit.
Early in the 80s, Air Force beat Notre Dame 4 consecutive times. What's the difference? The difference is speed. Notre Dame can now run with any team in the country. Now look, 1, 2, 3 players out on the pitch man. All shed their blocks. Devon McDonald comes in late. Lou Holtz has brought speed in and the knowledge of how to play college football. Conservative offensively, very good defensively.
Air Force needs the 30. Dallas looking for Van Halten, has him at the 35, and he'll take it across the 45, still on his feet to midfield. That is a great effort. You remember we mentioned back in the first half that the coaches called him not only the best hands and blocker as a tight end, but he could play a lot of places.
What sport?
Demonstrated there.
What sport do you think he earned 3 letters in high school, Van Halten?
Soccer.
Ice hockey.
Ice
Fridley,
hockey,
Minnesota. Look at him. Does this look like an ice hockey player or what? Check. It's a good thing he doesn't have a stick.
Lance McDowell comes into the ball game as Dallas is shaken up. That knee got stunned a little bit. McDowell, a senior out of Shreveport, Louisiana. This is Lewis, straight up the middle. Has 5 and has 10 for another Air Force first down. Don Grimm, one of the inside linebackers, comes over to make the hit.
One of the things they say about D. Dallas, in spite of his size, he's very durable, and he has been durable. With all the yards he has run for, over 800 coming into this game, 133 on the ground, the kid keeps coming back. He seems to be all right.
It's hard to tell if it's stunned or if it's trying to lock up on it. We'll talk more about it in just a moment.
We have a 10-14 left in the ballgame. 41-14. Top-ranked Irish on top.
The following fine items were purchased with Visa cards last year, but not paid for. They were won in the Visa Our Treat sweepstakes. Now all you have to do to enter is use your Visa card, and almost anything you buy just may be our treat. And the more you use your card, the more chances you have to win. So why pay with anything else?
This Jeep Cherokee has the advantage of an exclusive four-wheel ABS braking system for secure, controlled stops.
Hop in.
Thanks. But because Cherokee's a Jeep, you gotta be kidding. Its advantages don't stop there.
Boy, what a day. Now get up to $1,000 cash on 1992 and four-door Jeep Cherokees.
Don't just watch the game, understand all the action. Allie Sherman handles the X's. Billy Kilmer takes care of the O's when John Saunders hosts NFL Monday Night Matchup on ESPN. Gear up for the Super Bowl of racing. Last year, it showcased one of the most exciting battles in IndyCar history, the Marlboro Challenge, Sunday afternoon on ESPN.
Happy to report that number 60, Dallas, back in the ballgame. We'll see how much that knee might have been stunned a moment ago. Lewis comes back against the grain, and he will have a first down. The ball comes loose, but the play was dead. 4-0. The A's on top as they play bottom of the fourth in that game one of the World Series. Arkansas, wow.
Pretty good Texas Tech team there, and they're shutting them out.
In their backyard, yeah.
Kentucky's defense doing the job again.
UTEP in New Mexico. That's quite a rivalry out in that part of the country. Dallas looking for Van Holzen. Now gets it away deep into the end zone. Incomplete. Ron Gray. As Van Holzen got covered up in traffic over the middle, then he went to his second receiver. And Gray, who had come out of the backfield, was covered as well.
He had Zedroik, number 11, wide open on a post. Never did see him. Air Force, over the last 4 years, has averaged, what do you think, 14 points against Notre Dame. They have 14 tonight.
41-14. That's something else we talked with Lou Holtz about yesterday. As you look at Fisher DeBerry about how focused his ball club was. And he said, each week we are focused on that opponent and that opponent only. I see to that. Here they come with the counter. Left side, and Ron Gray, the sophomore out of Portland, Oregon, will take it inside the 25. Andre Jones, for that defensive end spot, knocks him down.
It says a lot about the respect Notre Dame has for this offense. Well over 5 yards a game. Their entire first-team unit is in the game. Defensively. Big play here for Air Force.
Guard, they have run the Ruski again, and it is a touchdown. 62, Steve Wilson. We kept waiting to see somebody be tackled to the right side. Wilson scores the touch.
You know, I feel bad for David Young. His Ruski doesn't look too good now. Steve Wilson, you would see Lou Holtz is not happy. Come on, Lou.
You know what else had just happened is Bolkar had just left the ball game, and that is the side that Ned would have been on. Michael Smalls had just come into the lineup.
All right, 62 is in there somewhere. Ball on the ground. down. Oh, he's down. He fooled the referees.
I started to say, if for the world, it looked like his knees were down when he picked it up.
That was the longest Ruski in the history of Ruskis. That was a 12-second Ruski. He got 2 letters for tennis in high school, that guy.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Bavarian may get a letter from Tallahassee this week. Congratulations. They'll go for 2. Makes the catch, and the ball is fumbled by Johnson again. You know, a couple of times tonight, the ball has been fumbled, and Johnson had the ball there, but didn't hold on to it.
Very, very tough to make that play. He holds it so long, you just don't know when he's going to throw it.
So timeout of the field, 41-20. Just over 9.5 to play.
Whatever the name of your game, look better, feel better, play better. Exerbar, the workout wonder, works with you for total fitness.
My Exerbar Total Warm-Up helps me to avoid painful strains and damaging pulls before a serious workout.
So to improve your game, tuck that tummy, trim those thighs, or build your biceps, Exerbar is exactly right for you. Exerbar has a unique design developed by fitness experts, used in health clubs across America. Exerbar is the fun way to burn calories, exercise each muscle group, and improve cardiovascular fitness. So to look better, feel better, play better, use the workout wonder at home, the club, or at work. Exerbar, only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Included free, a full-color step-by-step workout chart. Call 1-800-222-4441 right now. Major credit cards accepted. Get fit. Call 1-800-222-4441 for your Exerbar. Enjoy the workout wonder.
Charlie, come here, boy!
Charlie!
It's getting late, son. Wow, we thought we lost him, mister.
He'll be all right. He's just a little tired and hungry.
Where'd you find him?
Out there.
Well, mister, I certainly...
Who was that man, Daddy?
I don't know, son. But I meant to thank you.
Well, there he is, Steve Wilson. And by the way, he is one of the NCAA scholarship candidates. There are only 10 of those given every year across the country, and that is a great thing to win. Right now, I think he'd rather have the Ruski that he just scored than the one of the scholarship.
He will be forever known as Steve Ruski from now on.
Kick it away. This man he almost gets outside at the 16-yard line. You can hear a pretty good collision downfield. Chris Connell, the first man to get downfield and meet him. I'll stand by because it's Stanford and Washington State. That game up in Pullman, and it's immediately following our game here between Notre Dame and the Air Force Academy.
Well, there's a program that's had some bad breaks this year. They lost their quarterback, their coach last year in Washington State. Tell you what, the USC beat them by a point last week, didn't they? Really, they deserve a lot of credit up there.
Flag on the kickoff.
On the kicking team, 5 to lead. Free kick.
Notre Dame's going to ask them to do it again.
Well, now there's probably a factor of having the rocket back there. They can't wait to get off and get after them. Air Force, the least penalized team in the Western Athletic Conference coming into this game, and they've had a few key penalties, haven't they?
Yeah, they really have.
Anxious, you know, that undersized factor, a team that's a little bit smaller, trying to get off the ball, trying to make the play. It's bound to happen. Another thing about Air Force, you know, people, I don't know that people realize, my goodness, there's a shark loose there. Jaws 12.
So Cameron will kick it off again. Yeah. Well, these guys like to mug for the camera a little bit.
When you think about the importance of this game for Air Force first needs to win probably the Commander-in-Chief trophy.
Well, that's their top priority as far as what they want to win, yes.
And then they lead the Western Athletic Conference, and now they're playing number 1. So their interests sometimes get a little varied.
The ball's going to come out of bounds, and another flag comes out. That's right. Chance for the Air Force Academy to go to a couple of bowls this year because of the agreement signed with the Liberty Bowl. And of course, if they win the Western Athletic Conference, they would go automatically to the Holiday Bowl, right?
Well, the winner of the Commander-in-Chief Trophy goes to the Liberty Bowl, unless, in Air Force's case, they're in a conference. They're not an independent, and the Holiday Bowl takes precedence over the Liberty Bowl. So they would then go to the Holiday Bowl if they were to win both. And remember, the score is a little lopsided. This is a 6-0 team. Fisher DeBerry and his staff have done an incredible job here.
They really have. As that man right there, and I hope that folks understand, Lou Holtz, regardless of what you think, good, bad, or indifferent, of that little guy who paces the sidelines, every program that he has been at, it didn't take very long. He surrounds himself with really good staffs, but the brain trust, that's where it begins right there.
He's kind of created a monster here, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
This will be 18 straight if they win it.
Well, he gets underneath this one, and we got a knuckleball coming down at the 31. This is Culver. Not going for very much. He's up close to the 40-yard line. You know, one of the tough tasks that Fisher DeBerry has, in fact, a lot of people might say, you know, you've had opportunities to seek other employment. Why stay at the Air Force Academy? Because it is extremely difficult to recruit here. They don't have, as Notre Dame has a man shaken up on the play. I think the incoming freshman male average SAT last year was 1250. That's where you start. You can't just go out and look at John Q. high school football player and say, hey, we want you to come to Colorado Springs and play. It doesn't work that way.
That's Jacob the tight end.
Tight end, yeah.
He appears to be hurt.
Yep.
In World Series action, after 4 innings.
Let's take a look, see how it happened. Number 88, left side of your screen. Watch the leg. Player inadvertently fell on the left knee, and then he gets turned over. That's normally how it happens. He gets twisted. The leg can't give, but does. Gives it the joint. Here it is again. Culver going down. You can see it from the front. See his leg? His leg caught under there, and then the knee getting twisted. You can see he's hurt immediately.
Ivan Pickett got blocked across him, and then the leg got twisted.
A knee injury is one of those things, when it happens, you know immediately you're gone for 6 months. I mean, you just know it. You can tell that the thing, you've been around them when you're a player. You've been around them so many times. You know the penalty for a knee injury. You know the rehabilitation. You've seen other guys do it. And the thing, it's just the most agonizing feeling. You think about a cast. You think about rehabilitation, atrophy in the leg. It's something that a young kid who plays football, a boy like Jacobs, it's just an awful feeling. I can't even describe it to you.
Well, Coach Holtz ran out on the field, as you could see, gave him a pat on the back of the hand, and by the expression on Jacobs' face, the news is not good. We'll see if we can't get an update before the game is over. Waters comes right side, puts the head down, running tough. He'll take it for a couple. Terry Walker from the inside linebacking spot.
Pick up a 3. 2nd down and 7.
The points allowed coming into this one, Air Force giving up the most by any team ranked in the top 25.
Terrible disadvantage for a military academy. Normally you put the best athletes on defense. A military academy is just working with less athletes.
The reverse. It's Ismail. Almost had the ball stripped away, and then he gets stuck as a marker is down at the 43. Kafka, the nose guard, finally made the stop on him. Gladney also had a hand on the tackle.
Holding on the offense. Repeat, 2nd down.
What Lou Holtz will do, Lou Holtz checking his play sheet. What he will do is he will go through his entire offense at the beginning of a game. He'll run the plays. He'll see what you don't cover, where your weaknesses are defensively. Then he'll narrow down his selection and go back to those plays. Cause you a lot of problems.
You know, I thought that was the nicest compliment that Coach DeBerry paid him yesterday. He said that it is an ankle rather than a knee, we're told, on Jacobs. But the nicest compliment he paid, he said he is as good as anybody about going down that checklist to find out what you haven't prepared for. Waters on the draw. Breaks it out for 10 and in 15. Out around the 45-yard line. So he picks up the penalty and about 5 more. So we go under 8 minutes to play in the ballgame. Don't forget Stanford at Washington State coming up immediately following our telecast here in Colorado Springs. And then next Saturday night, Kevin and I will be heading to Tallahassee, Florida. In fact, we'll be there 2 weeks in a row. Next Saturday, it's Auburn at Florida State. And the following week, it is that cross-state rivalry. The Miami Hurricanes come to town to take on Florida State in Tallahassee.
That's a reborn Florida State team. They lost their first 2 and they now spend the rest of their last 4 weeks pounding people.
Rice with the give to Ismail, driving off the left side. Close to the first down. In fact, he may have it from the spotting of the ball.
What a weapon.
So they're going to have a measurement. Chains will come from across the way. Oh, what a day in college football. Kevin, what is it that it's almost like there's something in the water? You don't just have one upset on a Saturday. It's like a rash.
Well, I think the thing about the first down, I think the thing about college football that makes it so great is that people grow up week by week. I think Texas is a great example of it. And that was not a good football team 4 weeks ago. They begin to mature. He has some good athletes down there. David McWilliams and his Texas people beat Oklahoma today. And I think that you will see teams do that. As the year goes by, they get older and better.
He will keep it, turns it back up inside. Oh, my goodness, what a stick on Rice. 25 Shannon Yates. After the man had been posted, I think Juris is the man who had him low. And he really came up and took him. You know, another club we don't want to leave out as far as pulling off the near impossible is Texas A&M, defeating what appeared to be an unbeatable Houston team.
Andre Ware, 3 interceptions, 1 touchdown. That's
rushing yardage, 92 apiece between the Rocket and also Air Force. Straight ahead goes Johnson, loses the football, and Air Force recovers at the 30. Steve Brennan, the junior out of Milton, Washington, makes the recovery.
This Air Force defense has played one whale of a second half. A team that totally outmanned in the first half, and they told us, Bruce Johnson, defensive coordinator for Air Force, said, we'll hit you, and we'll keep hitting you no matter what the score. And that's just what they're doing. I mean, they really don't have a chance. But look at this hit. Boom, right on the ball.
You know, and something else Lou Holtz said last night, said somebody on the schedule may beat us, but I don't want Notre Dame to beat us. He really tries to keep away from mistakes. Faking, nope, not the fake of the counter. Straight ahead goes Greg Johnson. Zorich in a little bit of a disagreement when his teammates come up and say, this is cooling just a little bit. 41-20 with just over 6 minutes to play. Notre Dame, the #1 team in the nation, leading by 3 touchdowns over the Air Force Academy. Number 95, you saw there, Junior Bryant, only a freshman out of Omaha, Nebraska, 6'5", 270. Dallas throws back across the middle. That's Sin. And he will be tackled at the 50. Pat Terrell defensively for the Irish, but it's good for 22.
Sen is a fine receiver, and this thing, the post to the weak side, to the backside of the motion, has been there just all night. Hey, you're going to see Dowis stopping. He had rolled a little bit of a waggle the other way, and he turns out this post thing has been there, and Dowis right there to Sen, who is a pretty good receiver. 4 for 76 yards for Sen.
Straight ahead goes Jason Jones, who had just come in at fullback.
Jason Jones,
well, where do they go from here for Notre Dame? Well, some might say his schedule just gets uglier and uglier as far as they got USC next week, then Pitt, and Navy, SMU, and they close it out.
Penn State beat Syracuse. They're going to move up. Miami is undefeated, number 2. USC, Marinovich doing the job. They're on a streak. And Pitt may be the most dangerous team in the nation. Mike Gottfried's got them rolling.
Over the middle. Good heavens, he caught it. Unbelievable as Graham just flattened him and almost made him a part of the turf. Jacobs, the tight end for Notre Dame. Frank is being taken off the field.
Watch 47, top middle of your screen. Middle of your screen right there. Look at him holding. Let him go a little bit, guys. And holding down the middle of the field. That was Bolkar.
Darrell Woods is the man who made the reception and got planted. Dallas bringing it back to the short side, and he'll pick up a couple as Graham stayed at home to push him out. Just over 4.5 minutes to play.
Pick up a 2 on the play. Second down.
60,000 people apply for the Air Force Academy. I guess for prospective students a year. 1,400 are accepted. How would you like to build a football program? Anyone who wants to, who goes to the Air Force Academy, can go out for football.
Yeah.
Anybody. They need all the bodies they can get. If it's obvious you can't play, they let you go.
Dallas rolls the pocket again. Back across the middle has Sin again. The senior out of Albuquerque, the leading receiver coming into the ball game, grabs still another one.
Okay, Notre Dame playing a little bit soft. Now watch Sin. He's going to break it off. Hook it up. You see Light lets him go and goes with the deep man. That's what they're supposed to do. He gets inside the linebacker. This kid's played. Look at the size. Again, always the size. 5'10", 160-pounder.
Quick pass to Sin. Tries to spin off, but his knee was down, and it's Pat Terrell for the free safety spot who was there to wrap it. That's close to another Air Force first down.
Great timing. The passing game. I'm really surprised they didn't use the passing game more in this game. First down passing. I mentioned it many times. They really do it well. Dallas again, and Sen, he catches everything. The one he dropped, of course, would have made a difference in the game. Unfortunate, but he's played a tough game.
Sin now with 6 receptions. That gives him 17 on the year, and you can see he missed it by just a whisper. Well, that's a new career high for D. Dallas.
Remarkable performance. They shut him down completely, did Notre Dame. Not surprising on the ground. But he's come back and shown he can pass.
I'll tell you, I'm impressed with number 17 there, Darrell Woods. He's bouncing around ready to play some more. He took the doggone hit we've seen all year. Straight ahead, Lewis down to the 1-foot line. Volcar saved a touchdown. Boy, Rodney Lewis has got a great first step.
Okay, double slot. They get a good block at the corner, a little cross block, good lead on the linebacker, and Lewis, the fullback, hanging tough.
Air Force Academy cheerleaders. From the 1-foot line, touchdown Falcons. It's Rodney Lewis. Yeah, that's his first touchdown of the year. 584 yards rushing coming into the ballgame. But the big touchdown guy had been Greg Johnson with 12, and of course Steve Dallas, who had 13 touchdowns running. Wood to attempt the extra point, and he's got it.
this is really Air Force, a team of linebackers and defensive backs, although by size. But look at the offensive line doing a good job on a very tough, big Notre Dame line, and in they go for that touchdown and give it to the offensive line. It's getting late. They have to be tired pushing the big guys around.
Well, immediately following our game, 10:30 Eastern Time, it is Stanford at Washington State. That game out in Pullman, a very important one in the Pac-10. Just over 3 minutes to play in our contest. Ron Franklin, along with Kevin Kyler. The freshman trying to muster 27 push-ups. That's the point total. As you look at the remaining games for the Falcons, next week on the road at Fort Worth, then against Army for the trophy that we mentioned that is so important to them.
And then BYU, which will be important in the conference.
That's never easy at Provo.
They won big today, and then Utah, and then we have the Hawaii game. Somebody has to do it, and Ron and I are gonna on December 9th at Hawaii, AT being the key word there, at Hawaii.
Cameron will kick it off for the Air Force Academy. Mike, a junior out of Alexandria, Virginia. Again, Notre Dame looks for the onside. And they get it. And they're recovered. That's Anthony Johnson. As the Irish looking for the onside kick, and they handled it very well.
The thing about Lou Holtz, basics. They do the basic things so well, rarely beat themselves, and you see what it's done for Notre Dame. This man is a very, very fine coach.
Notre Dame from the 45. 3 minutes, 21 seconds left to play in this ball game. Waters, little stagger step, changes his direction, and with that picks up an extra 5 or 6. And that will be enough for the Irish first down at the 33.
I think Ricky Waters was about to lose his job to Ismail in the second half. He has definitely been a little bit of a different back, no question.
It's amazing what competition does, isn't it?
Yeah, he thought he was the only tailback until he saw old Rocket blasting off a few times.
The senior out of New Orleans comes in at fullback, number 43. Handoff comes to Waters again, hurdles the tackler. Down around the 30-yard line is Brian Hall, a junior from Columbus, Ohio. Makes the play defensively.
You may wonder what Notre Dame is doing. What is Tony Rice doing? They're going to two tights, running power, and he's standing, waiting for the clock to run down before he snaps the ball to use the maximum amount of time. That's why he's hesitating behind the center.
23 is Walter Boyd. He has just come in at fullback. Waters now with 97 yards rushing in the game. Goes left side. That's Culver. Tries to get outside and finally is tackled around the 23 by Litsky. And I believe he has the Irish first down. I think Coach Holtz would like to see the drive continue. Maybe just stay out of the end zone and let the clock go ahead and
first down at the 23.
Go out. Well, in our primetime review, the Heisman Watch, this is what they have accounted for. Dallas, not a very good night rushing, but in yards passing, that's a new career high for him. Rice, a little bit more balanced, has scored 1 touchdown. And Ware of Houston, the big figure there that stands out, 3 interceptions as his ball club was upset today by Texas A&M.
There's a name missing from that list.
Pitch comes back to Reggie Brooks. Around the right side, still on his feet. Takes a head-high stick by Bob Litsky down around the 17.
Brooks, the ball carrier. Yates and Litsky on the stop.
Continuing that primetime review and what the Heisman Watch has brought. Thompson with a good job today for Indiana. And also Emmitt Smith down at Florida, 202 yards. Ooh. They won big over Vanderbilt.
Ken Harris is idle, but the guy that Kevin was talking about is Pete Graham. Comes in at quarterback for the Irish. Dorsey Levens, still another tailback, down to around the 15.
Levens, the ball carrier.
Well, the name that Kevin was talking about that's not on the list is Ismail. And there he is. We'll give you his numbers. Rushing, receiving, return. And in case you did not see the early part of the telecast, 56 of the return yards came on a punt return for a touchdown. Sets are in the ball game, and he gets the call. Well, tonight's Visa players of the game are from the University of Notre Dame, Rocket Ismail, and from the U.S. Air Force Academy, D. Dowis. As a part of their continuing development of amateur athletics, Visa is proud to donate $1,000 to each of these universities and $1,000 to the U.S. Olympic team. Fisher DeBerry comes across to shake hands with his old friend. And the Rocket smiles, and he said, in case you can't read that, you folks in Pennsylvania, he's going to give you a call. I think that's what he said, right? So the final score, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, consensus #1, coming into this one with a big meeting next week against Southern California. Win convincingly over the Air Force, 41-27. Now for Kevin Kiley, I'm Ron Franklin. Let's go to Bob Carpenter. Bobby?
All right, Ron and Kevin, thank you very much. The Irish looking impressive on the road.